Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh! Are you kidding me? And gone!
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank podcast. On this podcast, Lane Frank. We're now in episode number 35. Yes, we're 35 episodes through. It's a big episode. The NBA playoffs are set, MLB is in full swing, and so much more. So stay tuned for Schoolyard Sports with Lane Frank, episode number 35. Let's jump into it. Let's start with episode number 35, how we always do, with our headlines. In the NBA, the Knicks clinched the 4 seed, and I could not be any more happier. My New York Knicks, I was worried for a second because when they lost the Lakers on Tuesday, they went from the 4 seed to the 6 seed. They're not to face the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. I was freaking out, maybe they would probably get swept, maybe even by the Bucks, even though they've done well against them this year. But it's with Giannis out, players like that. But no, the Knicks jumped up to the 4 seed, picking up key wins against the Celtics. Great stretch for the Knicks. Great season for the Knicks. Great coach by Tom Thibodeau. If anybody thinks Tom Thibodeau shouldn't win Coach of the Year, get out of here, okay? Monty Williams, okay, great player, okay? But they acquired new players in the offseason. Yeah, that is a great decision by Monty Williams to acquire new players. The Knicks really didn't acquire anybody new. I mean, Emmanuel quickly, you could say, Derrick Rose. But no, it's Thibodeau changing the culture there. The Suns were blazing hot to end the season last year. They went undefeated in the bubble with Monty Williams, okay? This is Monty Williams' second year with the Suns. Things are rolling. They acquired Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, a bunch of other guys. No, Knicks just acquired Derrick Rose, and they basically got Emmanuel quickly. He turned Julius Randle into an all-star player, all-NBA, first-team caliber player. All-NBA, first team. I'll say that again. Great player, Julius Randle. He has been. Tom Thibodeau should easily win Coach of the Year. The Knicks clinched the 4th seed, and I could not be any more happier. Let's move to MLB now, where there is lots of news. Shohei Ohtani, okay? Now, I said last episode, second most exciting player in baseball. Okay, now he's a top 2 most exciting player in baseball, and he's not 2. All right? He's the most exciting player in baseball. He's a top 3 most exciting player in sports. In sports right now, okay? Okay? This man is insane, okay? Whether it's hitting a curveball that's at his knees or hitting a fastball that's up at his head, he hits a home run anyways. Okay, Shohei Ohtani might be the best hitter in baseball right now. He might be. Leading the league in home runs, hit a home run at Fenway, which was almost an impossible pitch over the Green Monster, hit another one and tied the game in the top of the 9th. What a season Shohei Ohtani is having. Okay, Mike Trout, you're having the best season of your career. You might win MVP. The top 2 MVP candidates should be, when it's all said and done, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. And if the Angels don't make the playoffs this year, something's got to change. Because if you've got 2 MVP candidates, pretty much, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and you can't make the playoffs, there's something wrong in that organization. Okay, but I'm not here to go on about that. I'm here to go on about Shohei Ohtani and how amazing he's doing. Okay, he's not the best pitcher. He's a much, much better hitter. When he was coming over to the MLB, people thought it'd be the other way around. Much better pitcher, not great of a hitter. If he had Tommy John a couple years ago, injuries with pitching, say he struggles a lot pitching, just move him to a full-time hitter, okay? You could say, but not as exciting then, not a pitcher, not a hitter, and he is a good pitcher, no doubt. But he doesn't pitch enough. He's not really in the rotation. He's hitting a lot, and you can't hit 3 straight games, play 3 straight games, and then pitch the next day. That just can't happen. You have to be fully energized to make a start in the MLB. Okay? But Shohei Ohtani, such an amazing hitter. A pretty good pitcher, too. Pretty good pitcher. He's been going off this week. Maybe MVP this week. Maybe MVP. But what a season Shohei Ohtani is having. Probably should win MVP. Probably should. My dad picked him to win MVP before the season. I said, that's a risky pick, but it could happen. And it's looking like it might. Shohei Ohtani going off to start the season. He is playing really, really well. Let's talk about somebody else who's not doing so well. Okay, Jared Kelenic was like the number 1 prospect, got called up last week. Everyone highly anticipated Major League debut. Everyone's clowning the Mets for trading him for Edwin Diaz and Robinson Cano. Number 6 overall pick a couple years ago, Mets traded him a couple months after they drafted him for Robinson Cano, and Edwin Diaz really hasn't panned out. Robinson Cano, I don't even know what he's doing right now. Suspended for the whole season. Edwin Diaz just not really panned out for the Mets. And, if Jared Kelenic's a star, which not looking like he's going to be, then it'd be terrible. Because Jared Kelenic, Major League debut, didn't get 1 hit. Second game, okay, he had a great game. Okay, first career hit is a home run. Next game, went 0 for 5. The next game, he went 0 for 5. When I looked at the box score in back-to-back days, I thought I was looking at the same game, but then I realized, no, it was 2 different days. He went 0 for 5 in both of those games. Jared Kelenic, his batting average is in the hundreds right now. Really, really not playing great. Really, really not playing great. Would I want my Mets to still have him? And when I redo that trade, I probably would, because he's still got a lot of potential. But so far, Jared Kelenic's MLB career, not proven to be a great one. at the very early start of it. Okay, I'm not trying to jump the wagon and say, oh, he's never going to be good in the MLB. He's never, ever going to be good. He's never going to make an all-star team. He's never going to do anything in his MLB career. I'm not saying that because he does have some pop in his bat. He does have a lot of potential. But right now, Mets fans shouldn't worry too much. He's looking like a bust to start his very early Major League career. That's about it for the headlines this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, top 5. Today's top 5 is top 5 MLB teams so far, okay? We're a month into the season. It's late May, okay? We're starting to get a real feel for the teams now, okay? Figuring out, the Yankees might not be so bad after all. Well, and the last time we did this, the Yankees weren't even close to being on this list. They were at the bottom of the 30 MLB teams, but now they're picking things up again. Not saying they're a top 5 team, but we get a better idea of who is going to be good this year, who's not going to be. So let's jump into the top 5 MLB teams, in my opinion. Number 5, the Houston Astros. Okay, you're saying, what have the Houston Astros done this year? They have a 24-18 record, and they're a game and a half out of first place in the whole entire MLB. Okay, in the whole entire MLB. They're flying under the radar. Carlos Correa, not having the greatest season of his career, not having a great season, and, that might affect his contract situation because they couldn't meet his deadline before opening day, and he's a free agent this offseason. I have to assume he'd look for other options because he doesn't want to stay with the Astros. George Springer left the Astros because he doesn't want to be tarnished by the little cheating scandal. Maybe same thing with Carlos Correa. Never know. But the Astros, the 5th best team in MLB so far. Number 4, my New York Mets. Okay, a lot of people are putting them in the middle of the pack, 16, something like that. But the Mets are actually doing really well. They're the top of their division in the NL East, which is a very good, talented division. A very talented division. A good division. Mets playing really, 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 really well as of late. Unfortunately, they got swept by the Rays, but before that, they were on a 7-game winning streak. They won against the Braves. Kevin Pillar did get hit by a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to the head, which was unfortunate because Kevin Pillar was tearing it up as of late, and the Mets, another guy hits the DL. They've got Conforto on the IL. They've got DeGrom on the IL. Now they've got Pilar on the IL. They've got a bunch. McNeil on the IL. Lindor, he hit a home run against the Diamondbacks, and then he hit a home run against the Rays, but he can't believe that game against the Rays, gave up 2 errors. And then, he went 0 against the Braves. Really not proven to be a great player so far for the Mets, but he's got a couple years to do it. Not a lot. He has 12 years to prove to be a good player for the Mets. They'll never, ever be able to trade him because of that contract. Nobody would ever want to trade that contract for a player who's batting 190. But hopefully Francisco Lindor can turn things around this season, next season, whatever it might be. He's starting to hit a little bit better, hit a little bit more home runs. Still striking out a lot, though. The dead ball era, that's Francisco Lindor pretty much doing really, really well so far, the Mets. Number 4. Number 3, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, my preseason number 1 overall team was the Dodgers. The last time we did this, it was the Dodgers. The time before that, it was the Dodgers. They're number 3 right now, okay? They had lost 5 straight series up until the Angels series. That was their 5th straight series loss. They didn't have a great series. They did have a great series against the Marlins. Trevor Bauer pitched amazing, which is why they're at number 3, okay? Their record isn't horrible. They have a winning record. Corey Seager is going to be out for like a month or 2 with a broken hand, which is unfortunate. Get hit by a pitch. Dodgers' 3rd best team in the MLB so far. I still am very confident that they will make the World Series this year. They're the 3rd best team in the MLB, and they are the best team in the National League. Number 2, the Boston Red Sox, everybody. Okay, you're saying, where are the Giants? The Giants number 1? No, I'm not going to say the Giants are the best team in the MLB. Okay, this is one of those instances where a team gets off to a hot start at the beginning of the season, and they end up being a wild card team when it's all said and done, or they end up not making the playoffs. Okay, I'm not going to get fooled by the Giants. I got fooled by my Mets when they started the season 12-0 in 2017, and they weren't even coming close to making the playoffs that year. Okay, I'm not fully sold on San Francisco Giants, but I am fully sold on the Boston Red Sox. 2nd best team in MLB, Alex Verdugo. That was a great trade for both teams. They get a young star in Alex Verdugo, and Dodgers get Mookie Betts, who won them a World Series last year. If they didn't have Mookie Betts last year, they would not have won the World Series. Okay, you can admit it. They wouldn't have. This Red Sox team, they were the 4th worst team in the MLB last year. They have the number 4 overall pick, which they can use on a good pitcher, Kumar Rocker, who won a national championship with Vanderbilt a couple years ago. I saw that in a recent mock draft. Them taking him. That could definitely, easily happen. It could. And they have the number 4 overall pick. They can take another player. And they're one of the best teams in MLB. Some people have them at number 1. I think they have the best record in MLB. But playing really, really well to start the season so far. The Boston Red Sox, the 2nd best team in MLB, in my opinion. You're asking who's number 1 if it's not the Giants. It is the Chicago White Sox, everybody. Okay, they have the reigning MVP, Jose Abreu. They have an amazing DH in Yermín Mercedes, who's going off to start the season. Was a minor league journeyman, and now he's guys trotting the MLB. He's doing amazing. The White Sox are doing amazing. The pitching, Lucas Giolito. I read somewhere that the players hate Tony La Russa because people forget they fired the manager last year, won AL Manager of the Year, and they fired him for Tony La Russa. And people think Tony La Russa, not great managing decisions. He didn't pinch run for Liam Hendricks, their closer, when he was on second base in the extra inning rule. He didn't pinch run for him because he didn't think he could. He didn't know the role, but Tony La Russa has his team rolling. He does. Whether the players like him or not, Lucas Giolito, they're great ace pitcher. They're Dallas Keuchel, another great pitcher. They're doing really, really well. Start the season. Jose Abreu a little bit hurt right now, but they're easily the best team in the MLB. Easily. Boston Red Sox at number 2. White Sox at 1. San Francisco Giants, not a top 5 team in my opinion. They're not. That's about for my top 5 teams in MLB through May. We'll do this a checkup in June. That's about for my top 5 teams in the MLB so far. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, MVP, LVP. This week's MVP is, I already said in the headlines, it is Shohei Ohtani, everybody. Okay, lighting the world on fire. And not just the MLB, not just in baseball, in sports. Top 3 most exciting player in sports right now. Okay, heard here first in Schoolyard Sports. He is a top 3 most exciting player in sports. Lighting the world up so far. I already went over it all in the headlines. He is easily an MVP this week. Easily. Let's move to LVP now. LVP this week is, I'm going to say it's the Toronto Raptors. Or maybe Toronto Raptors fans, because, he won a championship 2 years ago. You made the Eastern Conference semifinals last year, and now, no playoffs. Yeah, Nick Nurse won back-to-back Coach of the Years before the season, now, no playoffs. They didn't even get to play in their home stadium this year. They had to play in Tampa Bay, not really Raptors fans. They didn't get to play in Toronto, which is a bit of a bummer. Same thing going on with the Blue Jays right now. They're going to switch to Buffalo midseason, I think. They're in Tampa Bay right now. But just, weird things going on with the Raptors organization. They definitely tanked down the season. It was just bad basketball. Kept bad basketball. I do think that they won that Gary Trent, Norman Powell trade. Gary Trent has been amazing for them ever since he's gone to the Raptors. He's been really, really good for them. Probably one of the best three-point shooters on that team. But it's like, you guys gave Fran VanVleet all that money, and now he's not even playing that great, okay? You gave him pretty much almost a max contract, and now he's not even playing up to like a minimum player level, a 6-man level. Fred VanVleet didn't have the great season. Pascal Siakam definitely did not have a great season. Going from an all-star starter last year to not even making the all-star game this year. What's going on with the Raptors organization? They didn't make the playoffs this year. They got left out. They didn't do well this season. They didn't, especially down the stretch. Easily LVP this week. That's about for MVP, LVP this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, didn't know. This week's Didn't Knows. Didn't know Dodger Stadium is the largest baseball stadium, at least capacity-wise, in the world, okay? I did not know this, okay? I thought Dodger Stadium was tiny. I did not know it was the largest baseball stadium in the world, capacity-wise. That is absolutely mind-boggling. I did not know that. Whenever I play an MLB The Show, I never want to play at Dodger Stadium because I always think it's too tiny. The walls are too tiny. The stadium looks too tiny. But no, I'm wrong. It is the largest baseball stadium in the world, capacity-wise. Did you know that? Leave that in the comment section. That's about what I didn't know this week. Now, the regular season of the NBA is wrapped up. So let's dive into our Schoolyard Sports NBA awards. I don't want to wait until the end of the finals when the award show happens. Because the playoffs don't go into account for MVP or Coach of the Year, all that stuff. It doesn't go into account for the playoffs. So let's do the first ever Schoolyard Sports NBA award show. Let's hop into it. Who should win Most Outstanding Player? Okay, I'm saying Most Outstanding Player because Most Valuable Player, I'll do down the line. I think the Most Outstanding Player this year was Nikola Jokic, okay? He's pretty much averaging a triple-double as a center, okay? A great season for Nikola Jokic. He was the best player in the NBA this year. He was. He wins Most Outstanding Player. Now, who wins Most Improved Player? I've said it many times. It's going to be Julius Randle, okay? There is no possible argument for any other player. It is easily Julius Randle, okay? People thought he wasn't even that good last year, and now he's an all-star. I think he should be All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team. Should definitely make an All-NBA team. No doubt about it. Having a great season so far, Julius Randle. Easily, without a doubt in my mind, Most Improved Player. It should be unanimous. Who should be Rookie of the Year? Okay, ask me this a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'd say, no doubt, LaMelo Ball. But no, okay, Anthony Edwards. When LaMelo Ball was out, Anthony Edwards was going off. Kendrick Perkins said it should be co-Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards, which it maybe should be. But this is going to be one of those tight Rookie of the Year races like the Luka Doncic, Trae Young one, Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell one. This is going to be close Rookie of the Year, award race. It might come down to 1 or 2 votes. But I think he goes to Anthony Edwards in the end. I think he goes to Anthony Edwards in the end. I think he deserves Rookie of the Year. I think he's been the best rookie this year. Okay? He has been. LaMelo Ball, a good player, but he's surrounded with other great players. Anthony Edwards, that team's struggling. He is surrounded with other good players. That team is struggling a bit. The Timberwolves, one of the worst teams in the NBA this year. They picked it up down the stretch. But Anthony Edwards, having such a great season, easily Rookie of the Year, no doubt about it. Who is Coach of the Year, okay? I said it in the headlines. It is Tom Thibodeau, okay? It is the New York Knicks coach. His first year as the New York Knicks coach, Tom Thibodeau. I'm sorry, Monty Williams. It's not you, okay? It's not you. I've heard people say they vote for Monty Williams because they have a vote in the Coach of the Year race. Coach of the Year award. It shouldn't be Monty Williams. It should easily be Tom Thibodeau, okay? Monty Williams acquired new players. Tom Thibodeau didn't. He got Emmanuel quickly, and that's about it. He rebranded this team. He got this team from pretty much one of the worst teams in the NBA to now the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference. Okay, Tom Thibodeau, what a season he's having as head coach of the Knicks. No doubt about it, he should win Coach of the Year. No doubt about it. If you think otherwise, you are wrong. Tom Thibodeau should easily win Coach of the Year. Who should win Sixth Man of the Year? I heard arguments for Joe Ingles. I've heard arguments for Jordan Clarkson. I'm going to give it to Jordan Clarkson. At the end of the day, these are 2 teammates, and they don't really care about the award. But it should go to Jordan Clarkson. Okay, Jordan Clarkson wasn't really a great player up until this season, having a great season, though, so far. Been a great player for the Jazz, one of the best players in this Jazz team. Joe Ingles, good player. But he started a couple games. This year, Jordan Clarkson really hasn't. Jordan Clarkson, without doubt in my mind, should be Sixth Man of the Year. Now, who has been the best story in basketball this year? Is it a player? Is it a team? All right. I'm not trying to be biased, but it is the New York Knicks, okay? New York Knicks, 8th largest jump in win percentage in NBA history. They were in the 20s last year. Now they're in the 50s win percentage. That is amazing. That is an amazing jump. Best story in basketball. No doubt about it. New York Knicks. Nobody expected New York Knicks to be good this year. Nobody, okay? I'm not even sure if I did. New York Knicks having a great season so far. Having a great season. I think Julius Randle was the only one who thought the Knicks were going to be good this year. Okay? What a season the Knicks have had. What a season. I'm so happy as a Knicks fan. They're easily the best story in basketball. And, leave in the comment section who you think the best story in basketball has been. But I think without a doubt it has been the New York Knicks. Last word, okay? You're saying you did most outstanding player, but you didn't do most valuable player. Okay, MVP award. What does it stand for? Most valuable player. That doesn't stand for most outstanding player. So that's why I wanted to do most outstanding player. Because I did want to give Nikola Jokic some credit, okay? He's been the most outstanding player in the NBA this year. He's been the best player in the NBA this year. But the MVP award doesn't stand for that. It stands for valuable, not outstanding, okay? The most valuable player this year has been Stephen Curry. No doubt about it. Won the scoring title, 31 points per game. If they didn't have him, they would be the worst team in the NBA. Okay? They would be. Now they're in the play-in. They clinched the 8th seed. What a season they're having, the Warriors. What a season. Stephen Curry, an amazing player. An amazing player. Easily deserves the right to be most valuable players here. MVP. Nikola Jokic, great season. Most outstanding player, best player this season. No doubt about it. But the most valuable MVP, that's Steph Curry. That is Steph Curry, everybody. That's about it for the first ever Schoolyard Sports NBA Award show. Leave in the comment section who you think will win most valuable player. Leave in the comment section who you think will win most improved player. And leave in the comment section who you think will win Coach of the Year. That's about it for that. Now, okay, I wanted to do this before the playoffs start. My pre-playoffs NBA Finals pick. Okay? I think who's going to win the West? I think it's going to be the Lakers, okay? I think the Lakers become the 7th seed. They beat the Suns in 6 games. Then they advance to the second round. They beat the Nuggets. Then they beat the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals to advance to the finals, okay? I really do think the Lakers make the finals this year. You want to know when the last time LeBron James made the playoffs and didn't make the finals? That was his first stint in Cleveland. The last time LeBron James made the playoffs and didn't make the finals was his first stint in Cleveland. You know how insane that is? That was back in 2010, okay? That is amazing. 11 years ago. LeBron James. He's only missed the playoffs once since then. Once. His first year with the Lakers. And he was hurt. Okay? He was hurt. Lakers. They make the playoffs. They're going to make the finals. And they're going to face off against the Brooklyn Nets. KD, Kyrie, James Harden. Good team. Great team. Blake Griffin. Everybody on that team. Great team. Mike James. Okay. I think that's what the finals is going to be. And my pick, and that is, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Come at me, okay? This Nets team, good team, okay? I've been saying it the whole time. they're going to win the finals. I've said it all year. They're going to win the finals. I'm flipping my pick before the playoffs. I am. Okay? Lakers, they're going to win the finals this year. They're going to win the finals. No doubt about it in my mind. The Nets can't find chemistry in the playoffs. Okay? Clippers could not find chemistry in the playoffs last year. They were like 12-1 when Kawhi and PG played together. But then they played together in the playoffs and they didn't have any chemistry. Okay? Nets, big three, they've played like 7 games together. No chemistry so far. Not that much chemistry. At least on court. Okay? Can't find chemistry in the playoffs. I still do think they make the finals, but I think their road ends there. I think it goes to 7 games. Let's say LeBron James dagger in the last final seconds. Lakers win the finals this year. The 2021 NBA champs go back-to-back. They do. They win the NBA championship this year. The Los Angeles Lakers, my NBA finals pick. I think they were my preseason pick also. Lakers, they're going to win the finals this year. AD is going to go playoff takeover mode. LeBron James is going to get into playoff mode. He's going to make the finals again. Okay, this team is amazing. Lakers, injuries all year. Anthony Davis, LeBron. But they already have chemistry. Okay, they haven't played many games together on court this year. But they played so many games together last year. They had the bubble last year. They won a championship together last year. What makes you think they can't do it again? Okay, this dynamic duo, the best dynamic duo in the NBA. Sorry, KD and Kyrie and James Harden. No. I actually think KD and James Harden is a much better duo than KD and Kyrie. I think that is. James Harden and Kevin Durant is a much better dynamic duo than Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Okay? Sorry, Kyrie Irving, but that's just what I think. There is no possible way you can convince me that KD and Kyrie is a better duo than KD and Harden. No possible chance. The Lakers, they're going to win the finals this year. They are. Probably one of my favorite teams in the NBA behind the Knicks, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to win the finals this year. That's about for who my NBA Finals pick is. Los Angeles Lakers. That's about it for that. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, my GM hat. This week's my GM hat edition it's about the New York Mets, okay? Say, if I was the GM of my favorite team in baseball, New York Mets, here's what I would do. Okay, Noah Syndergaard. I love him. Great pitcher. Much better earlier in his career. Had a rough season. The season before, he had Tommy John. He should come back mid-June, I read. But say he's not top performance. He's not performing amazing. It's trade deadline, July. You think, Noah's a free agent this offseason. We could lose him in the offseason to another team. Maybe he wants to go back home. Texas Rangers, Houston Astros. Never know. You think Noah's not playing well for us this year, Syndergaard. What do? You trade him. Okay? You blatantly trade him for prospects. Great prospects. Maybe get Hunter Green, pitcher in the Reds minor league system, number 2 overall pick a couple years ago, throws gas. Throws 100 per hour fastball. Really, really good player. Hunter Green. He's a guy who I would love the Mets to have. Let me restate that. Okay. If he's not playing well when he comes back Noah Syndergaard, that's what you do. Okay. And, maybe it's a situation like in 2016 when the New York Yankees trade Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs. They got Gleyber Torres, an amazing player for them, in return, who's still an amazing player for them to this day. And then Chapman re-signed with them in the offseason. So it was the Yankees weren't making the playoffs that year. It was an amazing deal for the Yankees, the best deal possible for the Yankees. The Cubs gave up a great prospect in Gleyber Torres, but they did get a World Series ring. If it's so, it was a fair trade, let's say. But, we've seen in other instances, Mets traded Jay Bruce a couple years ago to the Indians, and then he re-signed with the Mets in the offseason, $70 million extension. Jay Bruce didn't do well, and he went back with the Mets, but say they trade him at the trade deadline, Noah Syndergaard, and then they get him back in the offseason. There's a chance that could happen, but, Noah Syndergaard, if a team traded him, I don't feel like he would ever want to re-sign with that team. I don't think so. But if he doesn't, you still get a great prospect. You can get great prospects in return from Noah Syndergaard. He's young. He's amazing, Noah Syndergaard. Like I said, Hunter Green, he would be amazing. Another pitching prospect, maybe Mackenzie Gore, who I've got to watch up in person. Number 4 overall pick a couple years ago. He gives up a couple of runs. Needs a little more time to develop, but he could be a great player. The Mets trade Noah Syndergaard for him, trade Noah Syndergaard to the Padres. That would be amazing. Okay, if I was a GM of the New York Mets, that's what I would do if Noah Syndergaard, even if Noah Syndergaard is on top of his game, but the Mets aren't. That's exactly what I would do if I was a GM of the New York Mets. That's about from my GM had this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, this is that all sports edition. Okay, this is that all sports edition. Players from the MLB, players from the NBA, teams from the NBA, teams from the MLB, teams from the NFL, all that. Let's jump into it. Who would I take right now to be my quarterback? Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow? Okay, the last 2 first overall picks, Trevor Lawrence won a national championship, so Joe Burrow won a Heisman, Trevor Lawrence did not. I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence, okay? And this is a very easy one for me. Joe Burrow is going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. He will never be even close to Aaron Rodgers level, anybody like that. He might get a Super Bowl in his career or something like that. But Trevor Lawrence is the next Peyton Manning, everybody. A generational talent. Trevor Lawrence is an amazing player. An amazing player. I would take him. No doubt about it, to be my quarterback right now. Trevor Lawrence, without a doubt, for the next 10 years, for the rest of his career, when it's all said and done, I would easily take Trevor Lawrence. No doubt about it. Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole? Okay, 2 amazing pitchers, one from the Mets, one from the Yankees. Crosstown rivals. I would take Jacob deGrom. And this is an easy one for me, okay? Garrett Cole broke the record the other night, 59 strikeouts, no walks. That's the most consecutive ever without a walk. That's amazing, okay? Garrett Cole, great pitcher. Jacob deGrom, a much better pitcher, okay? A much better pitcher. Jacob deGrom is probably the best pitcher in the MLB right now. Actually, he is the best pitcher in the MLB right now. No doubt about it, okay? Whether he's hurt or he's not, he's the best pitcher in the MLB. He's going to win the Cy Young this year. If he gets back next week, he is. If he can stay healthy for the whole year, he's going to win Cy Young. If he stays healthy next year, he's going to win Cy Young. If he stays healthy next year after that, he's going to win Cy Young. Okay, that's what it is. Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher in baseball. There was 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Such an amazing player, Jacob deGrom. He is an amazing player. I would easily take him over Garrett Cole. No shade to Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, great pitcher. But Jacob deGrom's a better one. Shohei Ohtani or Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay, in my opinion, 2 most exciting players in baseball. This is a tough one for me. Right now, I would say Shohei Ohtani. Okay, I would. Now Tatis' batting average, not that high. Shohei Ohtani, an amazing player. Seems like he hits a home run every time he's up at bat. Great pitcher also. Great pitcher. He can do it all. Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what did he throw? 88 pitches the other night, 14 strikeouts, something like 10 strikeouts, and then in the 8th inning, he left to go play right fielder. Some people said, when was the last time we ever seen that? People said, oh, I always did that in Little League. Yeah, but that's Little League. This is Major League Baseball, and Shohei Ohtani's doing that. He's throwing 88 pitches, and then he's going to right field to play and hit for the rest of the game. That is amazing, okay? That is amazing. You know how tired he probably was after throwing 88 pitches in an MLB game and then going to play right field and hit for the rest of the game? That's amazing. Shohei Ohtani, the most exciting player in baseball right now, one of the most exciting players in sports. No doubt about it. He is. Shohei Ohtani, a little bit more exciting than Fernando Tatis Jr., in my opinion. Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving? Okay. This is a extremely easy one for me. An extremely easy one for me. Russell Westbrook. Okay. You're saying, whoa. Russell Westbrook over Kyrie Irving? Does Kyrie Irving average a triple-double? Has Kyrie Irving averaged a triple-double 4 out of the last 5 seasons? No, he hasn't. Okay. I don't care how many championships Kyrie has and how many championships Russell Westbrook has. Russell Westbrook lifts your team more than Kyrie Irving does. He does. Kyrie Irving maybe can be a bad thing for your locker room. He might be. Russell Westbrook, such an amazing player. Such an amazing player. Russell Westbrook, so amazing to watch. He is triple-double king. Hearing that name, triple-double king. Russell Westbrook, better player than Kyrie Irving right now, in my opinion. The Clippers or the Jazz, who would I take in a 7-game series this year? And they might face off in the playoffs. Now, this is a tough one. Because the Clippers, they have some bad losses this year. They do. Jazz also. Jazz, best record in the NBA, though. I haven't been high on the Jazz really at all this year. I'm going to say the Clippers, though. Okay, if it was a 7-game series, I would take the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. They went up 3-1 against the Nuggets last year, and they collapsed, okay? That's because, Doc Rivers wasn't the greatest coach for that team, didn't have Paul George in the right role, other things going on. But this is a good team, the Clippers. They are a very, very good team. And they would easily, in my mind, they would defeat the Jazz in a 7-game series. It would probably go 7 games, but they would defeat them in a 7-game series. No doubt about it. The Clippers are a better team than the Jazz. Now, last one. Carson Wentz or Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 quarterbacks. A lot of pressure under them this year. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's their starting quarterback, he's got a lot of pressure because, trade value, stuff like that. He's never going to be a starting quarterback full-time for San Francisco 49ers. Could be for another team if he performs well. He could be. Okay. Carson Wentz had a really rough year in Philly last year. He's back in Indianapolis, gets a second chance. What will he do with it? This is a tough one, okay? I went back and forth. I did. But I would go with Jimmy Garoppolo. I would. Okay, Carson Wentz really only had 1 great season in his career. I like Carson Wentz. I think he's a much better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I do. But I would go with Jimmy Garoppolo. I would. Jimmy Garoppolo, great player. He was a good player in the Patriots, even as a backup. He was a great player for the San Francisco 49ers. I still think they did him wrong. I mean, it's just the injury concerns. If the injury concerns weren't there and they still trade up for Trey Lance, I would think that's a terrible decision. A terrible decision. But he does have injury concerns. Still, if he can stay healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback in this league. A top 10 quarterback in this league, Jimmy Garoppolo. A really great quarterback. People hate on him too much, but that's about for this or that this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, best for last question. This week's question is, who will win the NBA Finals? I already gave you my pick, Los Angeles Lakers. I think the Los Angeles Lakers will win the NBA Finals this year. That's the question this week. Who do you think will win the NBA Finals? Is it the Brooklyn Nets? Is it the Philadelphia 76ers? Is it the Utah Jazz, Los Angeles Clippers, or somebody else? Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about for question this week. That's about for Schoolyard Sports. Lane Frank, episode number 35. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Twitter at Schoolyard Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here next week, episode number 36.